AITA for leaving a party because my date refused to get me water. I had been seeing someone I met through mutual friends. We'd had good times one-on-one, and when he invited me to events with his friends, I'd contribute to the group dynamic by never showing up empty-handed and offering to grab drinks for others. Fast forward to a holiday-themed party with his friends. My date and I planned to meet there and hang out afterward. I spent the day cleaning my condo and preparing mulled wine to bring. During the party, people were getting drinks for one another, including me when I served the wine. At one point, I was sitting on the couch, blocked in by only my date on one side and many others on my other side. I was tired and didn't feel like tightly squeezing past people I didn't know, so I asked my date if he could grab me a glass of water. He shook his head and after I said he said, "No. I was just up, and you could have asked before I sat down again." I was taken aback because I view small gestures, like grabbing water, as basic acts of care for friends, but especially for someone you're dating. That moment, combined with a long day of preparation, left me feeling drained. Since the party was winding down and I didn't have the energy to engage further, I said my goodbyes and called a ride. My date offered to walk me out and said he felt hurt that I was leaving. I explained I needed to recharge, but that he was welcome to come over after the party. As we walked out, I jokingly mentioned how him not getting me water surprised me. He replied, "Wow, that really upset you, huh? I have to be guarded about these things, you know." Later, we texted, but he seemed more upset about me leaving than interested in listening to why I felt drained. When I tried to call, he didn't answer. His texts were curt, and I eventually told him I'd let him decompress. 2 days later, I called to discuss what happened. He said he'd call that evening but didn't reach out until 3 days later, saying, "I'm not dodging you, I've just been busy." At that point, I was over it, especially since he never acknowledged the misunderstanding or my attempts to resolve it. A month later, we finally had a conversation. He explained that getting me water felt subservient and was something I had to earn through time and being in the trenches with him. He also said I didn't understand how busy his life was. For context, I work multiple jobs. I calmly explained that grabbing water for someone isn't about being subservient but a small act of kindness. After reflecting, I feel his responses and handling of the situation were disrespectful and indicative of bigger issues. So, is there a jerk here? I appreciate the perspective.